In the middle of an emergency board meeting at midnight, CEO Serafina Caldwell was seconds away from signing a multi-billion-pound contract, when single dad cleaner Archie Flynn accidentally knocked a glass of water across her laptop. Everyone froze. The screen hissed sharply, went dark, then flickered back on, showing something nobody expected. A hidden window. Email screenshots. Proprietary blueprints. Backup logs. Quietly uploading to servers at Meridian. Serafina spun round, ready to sack Archie on the spot. But he looked her straight in the eye and said, "Now do you see why I had to do that? If I hadn't spilled that water, the whole technology would have been nicked." But who was he really? And how did he know about the breach before anyone else? Canary Wharf Tower rose 48 stories above the docklands. Its glass skin caught the city lights like frozen rain. On the 48th floor, the boardroom was all steel and glass, designed to make executives feel powerful, and completely exposed. 21 floors below, the Security Operations Center hummed with servers and screens. 2 levels beneath the lobby, in basement 2, sat the plant rooms, where maintenance kept the building's arteries flowing. A world most staff never saw. The company was deep in what they called security.
The laptop top is exploding! Get back!
A phrase
Everyone
that
out!
made everyone twitchy. But the real pressure came from somewhere else. Caldwell Technologies was about to finalize the deal for Project Aquila, a revolutionary smart water sensor chip that could detect contaminants in real time and send data through the water itself. Worth billions. And a massive target. Serafina Caldwell hadn't slept properly in 3 days. At 34, she was the youngest MD in the company's history. And the board never let her forget it. Finance Director Henry Dalton had been on her case all week, pushing to close the Meridian deal sharpish, to steady the share price. The pressure was crushing. But there was something else gnawing at her. Something she couldn't quite name. 2 years earlier, a smaller project had leaked before launch. She'd never worked out how. Since then she'd become meticulous, paranoid even. Double-checking every access log herself. She wore her mother's ring on her right hand. A thin silver band. A reminder of the one bit of advice her mum gave her before she passed. Trust the right people. Not just the powerful ones. Her clothes were armor. Tonight, a red V-neck dress under a charcoal blazer. Blonde hair in loose waves. The blueprint drafts lived in an encrypted vault on the internal network. Biometric access only. Plus her personal password. She thought it was watertight. She was about to find out it wasn't. Archie Flynn pushed his cleaning trolley down the empty corridor on the 48th. Wheels squeaking softly on polished marble. 36 years old. Night shift cleaner for 3 years. Most people saw the uniform, the mop bucket, and stopped looking. They didn't see the former network security engineer, who'd once built intrusion detection systems for a big tech firm, before it all went pear-shaped. 4 years ago, he'd been stitched up by a colleague, who nicked his credentials to cover their own breach. The project collapsed. Archie had proof that could have cleared him, but using it would have meant dragging himself and his 8-year-old daughter Audrey through a nightmare court battle. He chose differently. Took the blame quietly. Walked away. Found work that let him be home when Audrey got off the school bus. Cleaner. Simple. Honest. Invisible. But Archie never stopped being an engineer. He noticed things. Poorly shielded cables. Smoke detectors blinking wrong patterns, faulty firmware. Access readers logging odd failed attempts at stupid o'clock. He carried a multi-tool keyring. Could open most mechanical locks in the building. A microfiber cloth that doubled as anti-static. And a USB with offline verification tools. He'd learned the hard way. Never trust a network you don't control. His daughter Audrey was brilliant, the way only 8-year-olds can be. Saw connections adults miss. Loved robotics, water science. Their flat was covered in her sketches. Machines turning water drops into signal carriers. One drawing showed a single drop splitting light into rainbow data streams. Pinned to the fridge. Archie didn't yet realize. It was basically a blueprint for what the company was trying to protect. Callum Rhee was Serafina's executive assistant. Very good at his job. Too good, some might say. 32. Face that made people trust him instantly. Smooth, earnest, right amount of concern in the eyes. Always first in, last out. Always had a solution when deadlines squeezed. Had a habit of mentioning urgent timelines whenever anyone questioned his access requests, making it seem daft to slow him down with procedure. In his wallet, 2 access cards. One official. The other, a visitor contractor pass. Issued 6 months ago for a vendor long gone. Callum kept it. No one noticed. That second card had opened the vault room door 3 times last week. Always after midnight. Always when corridor cameras were on their maintenance loop. Leo Bennett ran IT with an engineer's precision, a teacher's patience. Believed in process, documentation, logging every change. 41. Same blue Oxford shirt in 5 shades. Got properly annoyed when people bypassed security for convenience. Lately, he was losing those arguments more than winning them. Callum's urgent requests kept getting waved through by execs who didn't want blame for delays. Vivian Brooks handled PR, with the cold eye of someone who'd survived 3 corporate scandals. Knew the cover-up is always worse than the crime. Amanda Pierce, head of legal, same philosophy. Both women had warned Serafina for weeks. Signing Meridian before finishing the security audit was legally and reputationally reckless. But Henry Dalton had the board's ear. And the board wanted numbers that kept shareholders happy. The emergency meeting had been going 2 hours. When Archie's trolley appeared outside the boardroom. Through the glass. He could see Serafina. Henry. Callum. Leo. Round the table. Papers everywhere, like a paper war. The Meridian heads of terms sat center. Waiting for a signature. Archie was mopping when he heard Serafina's voice rise. Oi, watch out. Water on the floor. He looked up, saw her glaring through the glass. Nodded apologetically. Moved the trolley further down. But kept the bucket close to the door. Not accidental. 4-3 nights he'd clocked something off with the wireless access point near the boardroom. Activity light blinking in weird patterns, not normal traffic. Earlier tonight, in the utility cupboard. Fresh cable runs, not in any logs he'd quietly checked. Someone had added a secondary network. It was live right now. Inside. Serafina's laptop was open at the head of the table. Final clauses on screen. She'd put a glass of water near the edge. Handy when her throat dried from talking. Too close. Archie timed it. Trolley wheel caught the door frame. Jerked sideways. Hand out to steady. Elbow hit the bucket. Water sloshed in a glittering arc. Through the slightly ajar door, for air. Hit her glass. Toppled it forward. More water straight onto the open laptop. Hiss. Screen black. Everyone jumped up. Serafina's face went shock to fury in a heartbeat. 3 seconds of silence. Just dripping water on leather chairs. Then, BIOS flickered up. White text on black. Secure boot. Integrity mismatch detected. OS loaded anyway. And a window popped center screen. Hadn't been there before. Progress bar. Files transferring to meridianzecure.net. Emails scrolling. Blueprints. Logs. Upload job, hidden in background. Exposed now because sudden power blip killed the hiding process. Serafina stared. Callum moved fast. Smooth voice, concerned. We should confiscate any unauthorized devices. Maybe start with the cleaner's USB. Clearly sabotage. Henry demanded. What the bloody hell is going on? Leo leaned in. Face draining. Reading the exfiltrated file names. Archie stood in the doorway. Water dripping from mop. Met Serafina's eyes. Her gaze could cut glass. He spoke quietly, deliberate. Don't sign that contract. Someone planted a back door. Your laptop's been compromised for days. Security arrived in minutes. Escorted Archie to a small office on 47. Keyring and USB confiscated. Serafina told Leo. Run diagnostics. Now. Callum urged. Stay on schedule. Meridian gave guarantees. Delays will cost millions. We're overreacting to a glitch. Henry backed him. Stock price, investor confidence. But something had shifted in Serafina. She'd seen the progress bar, seen her blueprints listed. And Archie Flynn, the cleaner she'd barely noticed in 3 years, looked at her without fear. Told her not to sign. She told Henry and Callum to wait. Followed Leo to security ops on 21. Dark room, monitor glow. Network flows, server panels, logs scrolling like digital waterfalls. Leo's fingers flew. Hashes didn't match. Vault files, laptop files, not identical. Someone modified them. Access logs, out-of-hours entries. Timestamps matching card scans. Not Serafina's. Not Leo's. Contractor credential, should have been deactivated months ago. Leo dug deeper. Found an agent on her machine. Disguised as touchpad driver update. Encrypted tunnel via guest Wi-Fi. Bypassing corporate firewall. C2 server, meridianzecure.net. Same address from the upload window. Archie sat in the holding room. Thinking of Audrey. How he'd promised her clean work, honest work. Kept it 3 years. Tonight, broke the rule about staying invisible. Wondered if it was worth it. His USB, in an evidence bag, contained bootable Linux and a checksum tool he'd written years back. 3 nights ago, he'd seen Callum entering the server room during a clean. Callum with a tablet, looking nervous. Archie, curious, cautious. Made a backup of key system files before nightly auto backup. Not procedure. Instinct. Door opened. Serafina walked in. Leo behind. Still in the red dress, blazer gone. Expression more complex than anger. She sat opposite Archie. Explain. Archie told her about the access point. Unauthorized cables. Strange traffic for a week. Her laptop tunneling via guest net. Water killed encryption, exposed it. If she'd signed tonight, Meridian would have had full Aquila blueprints before ink dried. Whitmore would have lost the patent race, without knowing it was on. Serafina's hand went to her mum's ring. Twisted it slowly. Studied his face. Found only tired honesty. You could have just told someone. I tried. 3 days ago, mentioned odd network to a supervisor. Cleaners don't give tech advice. Yesterday, left a note. No reply. Tonight, saw the meeting through the glass. Knew time was up. So I made a choice. Cut the connection the only way I could. Leo, running checks during this. Looked up, grim. His right. Exfil was nearly done. Another 10 minutes, they'd have had the lot. Serafina stood. Paced to the window. City lights like scattered diamonds. Her company. Her responsibility. Her near disaster. She'd been so focused on pressure from above. Stopped trusting her instincts. Turned back to Archie. I need you to help us fix this. Why trust me? Because you stopped an upload, not started one. Because you had 3 years to nick anything. And spent it fixing lights, reporting fire hazards. She paused, admission hard. Because I've spent 2 years trusting the wrong person. Maybe time I tried the right one. She told Leo. Restore his access. Give him whatever he needs. Leo nodded. No hesitation. Beyond protocol now. Triage. Next 6 hours, controlled chaos. Leo's team found modified files accessed 17 times. Callum's secondary badge. Timestamps matched late-night access logs. Agent installed during routine update Callum volunteered for. Citing efficiency. When confronted. Callum calm. Said Meridian asked for demo files, Verify integration. Standard vendor practice. Helping expedite. Henry backed him. Desperate for the deal. But Archie had more. From his USB, checksum comparisons. Vault Master vs Modified. Not just copies. Embedded metadata, tiny changes. Would have given Meridian prior invention proof in any patent fight. Sophisticated theft, disguised as cooperation. Amanda Pierce, legal. Saw implications instantly. Signed tonight, handed over tech. And legal ammo to competitors. Damages would have bankrupted them. Breach news leaked before dawn. Industry blogs specializing in corporate espionage. Someone tipped them, probably forcing hands. Vivian called emergency PR meeting. Face grim. Market opens in 3 hours. Need a statement. Board demanded answers. Henry, feeling foundations crack. Suggested suspending Serafina temporarily. Reassure investors. Classic survival move, throw someone overboard. Half the board nodded. Serafina stood before them. Voice steady despite exhaustion, betrayal. Explained what happened. Took responsibility for missing it. Presented evidence of deliberate sabotage. Announced Meridian deal suspended indefinitely. Pending full investigation. All external access locked down. Aquila servers air-gapped, until clean backups verified. Henry tried interrupting, market consequences. Serafina cut him off. We'll survive a share dip. We won't survive losing core tech. And a decade in court. Deal's dead till we're sure the house is clean. But evidence wasn't enough. Needed to find everyone involved, seal leaks. Archie suggested a trap. Force remaining players into open. Risky. Needed complete trust from Serafina. She thought of the ring. Trust, intuition, cost of wrong choice. Gave the order. While planning. Callum made his move. Realized investigation closing. Activated Wiper. Erase evidence from compromised servers. Wiper aggressive, overwrote fast, massive heat in raid. Cooling struggled. Server room on 21. Temp alarms screaming. Spark jumped, overloaded PSU to cable bundle. Smoke detectors should have gone instantly. Didn't. Someone adjusted sensitivity weeks ago, routine maintenance. Bought seconds. By suppression activation. Smoke already in hallway. Serafina in ops when alarms hit. Ran toward server room. Thinking only of clean backup drives. Electronic locks defaulted secure, sealed fire in. Trapped anyone inside. She yanked door, no give. Archie appeared, keyring, multi-tool. Years maintaining building, new manual overrides. Popped emergency cover. Bypassed with mechanical lever. Hauled door open. Heat, smoke billowed. Stay back. But Serafina already moving, toward backup cage. Sprinklers erupted. Drenching all. Archie grabbed her arm. Pulled to specific rack. Not main Aquila, corrupted by Wiper. But the parity drive. Leo's last resort failsafe. Archie noticed it cleaning, red survivor label. They yanked it free. Water streaming faces, smoke stinging eyes. Leo in doorway, shouting get out. 3 stumbled to hallway. Foam deployed behind, smothered flames. Soaked, coughing. Serafina looked at parity drive in Archie's hands. Like holy grail. Then at him. Man who'd just saved her life, company's future. Something shifted. Final professional wall crumbled. Tell me what to do. Archie laid plan. Calm, methodical, failure scenario thinker. Use his offline USB, boot clean OS. Mount parity read-only. Extract time-stamped metadata timeline. Who accessed what, when. Call in NCA cybercrime contact, legal chain of custody. Have Vivian stall press 24 hours. Amanda prepare injunctions against Meridian, if evidence confirms. Set one final trap. Honeypot file. Aquila v2 final integration specs. Invisible tracking pixels. DNS canaries. Phone home instantly if opened. Grant Callum temp vault access. Disaster recovery help. If he bites, proof of active theft, full legal standing. Serafina listened. Nodded. Do it. While Leo set tech. Serafina asked the question burning. Why are you here? Why clean, when you can do this? Archie told her. Old project, betrayal. Chose daughter over career. Promise to Audrey, only clean work, honest work. Work that let him sleep. Invisible jobs have power. People say things in front of cleaners. They'd never say to engineers. I told my girl I'd always do right. Even when hard. She's 8. Draws water droplets carrying info. Doesn't know her dad used to build protection systems. Wanted her to know me as someone who kept promises. Not someone who fought dirty and won. First time in 3 years. Serafina felt the ring as something other than weight. Trust right people. She'd trusted titles, polish. Forgot instinct, integrity. That evening. She drove to Arch's flat in East London. Modest block, good light, playground opposite. Audrey answered. Robot t-shirt. Dark hair in ponytail. Walls covered sketches. Diagrams. Child's vision of science, possibility. One drawing caught eye. Single water drop, splitting to 7 light streams. Each carrying tiny data packets. Bottom, careful crayon. Water talks if you listen. You drew this? Audrey nodded, suddenly shy. My dad says water carries secrets. Says everything leaves a trace. Serafina knelt. Your dad's right. He just saved my company by paying attention to those traces. Later. Audrey in bed. Serafina and Archie in small kitchen. Coffee, exhaustion. She apologized. Doubting him. Nearly arresting him. 3 years not seeing him. He accepted, quiet grace. Then surprised her. Apologized back. Not finding better warning way. Chaos his choice caused. I need you to lead the security rebuild. Not consultant. Head of cyber resilience. Full authority, team, budget. Redesign everything. Every data path has a canary. Way to know if compromised. Water-themed security. Your daughter's idea really. Every secret leaves a trace. Archie hesitated. Audrey, routines, promise staying clean. Serafina saw conflict. Made offer she'd never made. Flexible hours, remote when needed. Full STEM scholarship for Audrey, immediate. Not bribe. Investment. I need people I trust. People who'll tell truth, even inconvenient. People who get. Protecting something means willing to break it. Before someone else does. You spent 3 years invisible, watching. Now I need you visible. Building something unbreakable twice. Trap closed 2 days later. Callum, thinking suspicion diverted to vendor issues. Logged vault with emergency creds. Downloaded Honeypot Aquila v2. To encrypted personal drive. Forwarded via anonymizer. To email tied to Oliver Grant. Meridian CEO. DNS Canary triggered 8 minutes. Pixels reported location. Server farm outside Slough. Meridian subsidiary. File opened, copied, sent to 3 internal Meridian lab recipients. NCA Cyber Unit Monitoring, from Mobile Ops 2 streets away. Coordinated with SFO. IP crime specialists. Warrants executed. Meridian HQ. Callum's flat. Confrontation in Serafina's office. Callum between 2 NCA officers. Archie showing evidence on wall screen. Transfer logs. Max matching Callum devices. Timestamps, badge swipes, file mods. Email metadata, correspondence Oliver Grant, 11 months. Bank records, offshore deposits, week after Aquila prototype success. Callum final deflection. Archie fabricated it. Cleaners don't have expertise for this. Archie walked through proof. Hash chains. TLS anomalies. Timing correlation badge swipes, mods. Precise, methodical, damning. Serafina watched Callum escorted, cuffs. Man she trusted with schedule, passwords, vulnerabilities. Hollowed by betrayal. But strangely clear. She'd feared wrong trust so much. Stopped trusting instincts. Archie forced her to see what was happening. Not what she wanted to believe. NCA charged Callum, corporate espionage, theft trade secrets, fraud. Meridian faced civil action. Receiving stolen IP knowing illegal. Oliver Grant resigned week later. Health reasons. Everyone knew. Discovery brutal. Amanda coordinated legal. Vivian managed narrative. Turned potential catastrophe into swift justice, internal vigilance story. Shares dipped, then recovered. When Whitmore announced full security overhaul. Named Archie Flynn head cyber resilience, new exec role. Henry apologized privately. Admitted pressure was covering his failures, not company good. Offered resignation. Serafina accepted. Bored, chastened. Gave her full authority rebuild security. No shortcuts. No bypassing for convenience. Company heal properly, or not at all. Archie's first move. Exactly promised. Water-themed architecture. Every flow traceable markers. Anomalies alert. Trust verified continuously, not assumed forever. Hired Leo deputy. Dante Morrison. NCA contact, external advisor. Built team understanding. Security not perfect prevention. About knowing compromise. Responding before irreparable. 1 year later. Project Aquila launched. Smart water sensors. Revolutionizing infrastructure monitoring, 6 continents. Whitmore became case study. Corporate resilience. Business schools taught. Survive betrayal, emerge stronger. Annual security conference. Same 48th floor boardroom, where it started. Archie presented new architecture. Industry leaders. Continuous verification. Transparent logging. Reduced intrusions to 0. Audrey, now 9, comfortable speaking. Demoed water signal robot prototype. Detect anomalies in fluid nets. Transmit warnings through water. Serafina watched side. No red dress armor. Simple professional clothes. Confidence without performance. Learned trust team, admit uncertainty, value competence over charisma. Company different. She different. After presentation. Guests gone, caterers clearing. Serafina found Archie on rooftop terrace. London stretched below. Galaxy lights in glass towers. City almost liquid in evening haze. You know. Serafina leaned on railing. That night you spilled water on my laptop. I was ready to destroy you. I know. Archie quiet. I was ready to be destroyed. But not before stopping the theft. You saved everything, by breaking everything. She turned. This man, 3 years invisible. Sacrificed career for daughter. Risked what little left, to do right. That laptop was 8 grand. Company we nearly lost, worth 800 million. Best ROI we've ever had. Archie small smile. Insurance covered laptop. I checked. Of course you did. She laughed. Surprised herself. Ring caught light. Worn that night everything changed. Touched it when decided trust him. Trust right people. Mum left this ring. Said it'd help know who to believe. Didn't understand till I met someone. Who'd rather be wrong and honest than right and corrupt. First raindrops fell. Light, warm. Speckling pavement dark stars. Neither moved inside. Rain strengthened slightly. Serafina closed eyes. Felt it wash last residue of old self. Sometimes. Archie soft. You have to cut power. To see what's really running. Water does that. Stops everything. Exposes everything. Cleans everything. That what you told Audrey? Told her water carries truth. Can't hide from something flows everywhere. remembers everything. She understood better than me. Kids usually do. They stood in rain. MD and security head. Strangers year ago. Now bound by crisis, rebuild. Shared survival intimacy. Below. City glittered through rainfall. Million promises in million windows. Serafina thought of night. Moment everything shattered. Reassembled stronger. Archer's choice might cost everything. Her choice, believe him, despite caution screaming. You spilled water on my laptop. Saved my future. Sometimes. Archie replied. That's what it takes. Turn everything off. See what matters. Rain fell harder. Washing city clean. Somewhere below. East London flat. 9-year-old girl drawing another water drop. Splitting light to data. Imagining next impossible thing adults will build. Future sketched in crayon. Protected by people who understand. Trust not weakness, foundation. Security not walls. Knowing when breached. Salvation sometimes from places you weren't looking. Serafina reached out. Took Archer's hand. Not romantic. Recognition. Two people. Learned same hard lesson, opposite directions. Power without trust, brittle. Visibility without integrity, hollow. Right person, right moment, changes everything. They stood till rain eased. City shimmered clear. Water ran off glass towers. Down streets. Carrying reflected light to drains, rivers, ocean. Where everything dissolves, reforms, begins again. Just like trust. Just like truth.